I got a problem with the gun lines in your operation, Chief. First, local cops and state police come and populate your streets. In vans, they watch and wait discreet, hop out and confiscate your peeps. Cause some faggot bragging about his ratchet. Conversation piece. You think after this dumb tard come hard and stretch his thug bars beyond the sun, stars, and moon, he done it with something above par? Who the fuck tried to jumpstart this stunt car, stunning yourself with a taser the only time you catch a gun charge? Well, let me guess. You rescheduled your hustle and your licks for the keys. Had your secretary tell all your waiting bitches to breathe. Stashed your limitless cheese with the clips in the fit that you squeeze, with the body stiff in the trees under the sticks and the leaves. Took the bus so your butler could wash your whips and your V's to give your imagination a day off and come spit with MCs. Because real hustlers don't rap and mention they stacks of weapons to attract attention like a sad, neglected adolescent that a fag molested. Because people start asking questions and your pad's infested by agents with a badge arrested anybody holding bags and weapons. You the sacrificial llama. Your own GM led you straight to slaughter. Move back to Long Island, you're obviously a disgrace to Georgia. But then again, New York ain't gonna have no placement for you when you rap like every 16-year-old that got a tape recorder. I was sent to feast upon the weak and slow. Reaper throw the sleeper hold. Keep your soul, leave you in the deepest hole, let you decompose. I'll punch your 16s around until the speaker blows. Lord Jesus knows you couldn't knock dirt out trying to bleach your clothes. Need to stop with the tough talk for somebody to knock him out, but his nose so long you gotta pay a toll just to watch his mouth. What you talking about? You're not an elite fighter. You wouldn't bust a spark on top of a cheap lighter. You're not a tweet nicer. You're not a deep writer. You're every weak biter I beat in a street cipher. You sound like Loaded Lux, and that's plain to see. But then there's conceited T-Rex, the other 4,083 lame MCs that claim to be the trigger man and aim and squeeze so painfully all of you motherfuckers sound the same to me. You shoot AKs? Chinese, Russian, or Romanian. Black synthetic stock of wood shit like Osama carrying. 7.62 by 39 through the rifle barrel and a 5.56 by 45 modified by Israeli. How many when the hammer hit? 10 rounds standing shit? Are you really strong enough to hold the 30-shot banana clip? I don't talk gun lines a lot, even though I'm native and I'm fluent, but at least I'm fucking creative when I do it. I hope you don't think those over-conspicuous sunglasses are hiding the fact that you're a ridiculous dumb faggot. Wow. Because your eyeballs look like you're indigenous of planets that are too close to the sun and squinting is just habit. Plus one eye on point like a hair trigger, the other eye wandering around like a retard that done lost his caregiver. Shit is just drifting into space. Eye so lazy it should be fired from the field of vision and evicted from your face. Shit would look better missing from your traits with something different in its place. Maybe try to fit a mix of shapes or just switch it with a grape. So instead of dying to get focused and prying your lid open, put a patch over the shit like you're trying to quit smoking. And we know why he grilled two dudes as he go by. You don't Debo guys, you just got Debo eyes. In this guy's position, I would find physicians and dietitians to supply nutrition guides for living with eating disorders and eye conditions. And prescribe prescriptions to align your vision so you could tell those female fan cyber pictures were guys in prison disguised as women. So instead of trying to hide your eye, embrace it. And even with a glass replacement, it would stay stationed while the good eye just kept it moving like it's getting impatient. You were conceived through a brother and sister's use of a leaky rubber. You look like Will Smith's partially retarded, starving tweaker brother. So don't ever reproduce, you lanky, awkward, creepy fucker. Your young would probably pop out and beat each other right before they eat their mother. I'm crushing him instantly, cause nothing he spit at me is clutching a victory with this busted delivery. Unless judges officially do something suspiciously, then I'm snuffing him viciously till dozens of injuries cover him visibly. How'd the guy grow tall enough to be touching him physically, but develop like an Ethiopian with muscular dystrophy? You are fragile as a chick that's an addict in a lick with a habit for some sniff, but she ain't had it and she's sick. You're average when you spit, you got the swagger of a snitch, you're such a faggot and a bitch, your body language has a lisp. probably think all white people live in mansions because they rich or play the banjo with Casper at his cabin in the sticks. Like, listen here, you friggin' queer. I'll track you like an injured deer and shove a ninja spear through your inner ear while I'm drinking beer. If any of you other N-bombs try and interfere, I'll have the colonel deny you fried chicken for the next fiscal year. You think he tough because he yay high? Will explain why this gay guy's pencil neck is the same size as his fucking waistline. Looked like this lame tried to stage dive, but a tangled cable had his legs tied and the crowd just kept stretching his arms out with the wave ride. Because this loser's built like the dude on stilts in a circus tent, tree branch to his kneecaps to bring him down like Percocet. Am I done? It's all time?
Fuck it, go in.
I go to work, possess, perfect plex you into a Kerber step till swelling cause your shirt to stretch and I beat this scrawny nerd to death. You mutter prayers under a gurgled breath as I stomp that lazy eye and any other birth defect out this pile of worthless flesh. The great abyss waits for this defined fraud that rhymes odd, so after this guy's gone, I'll bury him and get my hide on. You need search and rescue's assigned squad, the nose of McGruff the crime dog, and several religious pamphlets on saving yourself to find God. But his knowledge of self is he a live contender. I don't mean kick him out the nation of Islam when I leave this guy dismembered. Arm, leg, arm, head. Go inside a blender. That's how I get God bodied like a 5%er. Crackers still leave God body flatter than a communion wafer. How you gonna name yourself that like you the true creator? You're a perfect example of every flaw involved with human nature. And I am the word from the sky that you heard. I'm surprised Destro didn't warn you of the Messiah's return, to exact the brimstone and fire deserved with a branding iron to burn the mark of the beast in your flesh while you're trying to squirm. God damn. Then witch doctors start to surround your crib watching. 6 prophets reverse the hands on your wristwatches. Your body gets skin blotches formed to fit crosses in a fixed posture while limbs popping from ripped sockets during the stigmata. Then before you can scream, I repent my sins, Father, your guts explode and hit the floor like a fucking pinata.
When I lift the fifth and rip the clip, hit your strip and flip your whip, you walk away with a pimpin' lip.
I'm surprised you ain't bitch or lit. You sound like a fucking robot with a missing chit. Built like a premature infant born addicted that never got his conditions fixed. Face on some Scottie Pippen shit. When he tried to get with chicks, I wonder how many block passes that nose assisted with. Wow. That's what the 2012 gangster like. You little fuckboy, faggot type, Magic Mike hermaphrodite. All this time I thought you were talking about guns when you said you would grab a pipe. Well, okay, Yosemite Sammy Davis Jr., let him spit. Because if it's gun bars, I just gotta select a pick from the weapons list to dead him with. Beretta Smith and Wessons are old Winchesters and Remingtons are emptying all 32 in a couple seconds when the Mac 11 spit. AKs, ugly sawed-off pump, leather-tipped Nike gloves for a better grip. Not expensive or impressive shit, just need the flesh to rip the shreds and bits. Even with any vest you get, slug dent your ribs like a catcher's mitt. Bird shot pellets spreading width and stretch them quick as a pregnant chick. Separate your chest from hips, cut T in half like altar tops. And he an anorexic bitch that talks a lot, so I guess it fits. Switch the gauge to a large revolver. Better get the Sig fam, white boy with a big can. Cut T in half with a sour like an Arnold Palmer. I'm at the Hilton Inn behind the fences waiting. Sneak this fag with the ether rag, last breath he take and feel like his chest is caved in. You get awakened in the sketchy basement of a decrepit vacant, strapped to a metal-plated chair, sweating, shaking, cold as the breath of Satan. I appear in a butcher's leather apron, standing over a table with assorted tools and weapons straightened neatly next to a chemist station. Left to guess your fate in a stressful state you attempt escaping, till you're hit with electric tasers at excessive paces and send your brain into states of vegetation. Food's been replaced by ingesting plates of poison without a center taste that cause festering infections, draining while you rest for days in your own digestive waste and defecation with your flesh decaying. Sleep deprivation just to test your patience. Filming you go from yelling aggressive rages into crying depression stages. I laugh and ask you questions playing during your pathetic praying, like how come your God never came from heaven when his other children begged to save him? As the tremendous pain of a cord that's drilling your gut, leave your intestines braided, close your head and face in a Foreman grill with a couple cuts of peppered bacon. Twist your limbs in a pretzel shape till pressure break them, stretch them, straighten, and hammer a machete blade into every major joint to the point of separation. Now it's time to Leatherface him. He get Texas chainsawed till his brain gone like a mental patient without the proper medication.
Eyeball fly off, stick to the drywall like a decoration. Now the direction changes from death and fate to burial preparations. Whoa! Spread the graves through several states and on Western Native reservations without leaving the blessed and sacred grounds my ancestors created desecrated. This next arrangement's like a test equation. I gotta find a metric weight and mass each body segment's taken, measure crates for depth and space, bone density to cements and pavement, check the weather station for heavy rains to sink the rest in lakes and septic basins. But the back of the head and face in separate places, so if excavated by forensic agents, the investigations won't connect the basic dental traces. Now I need a computer hacker for record changing. Identity theft from patrons with higher credit ratings, photo ID replications, faces freshly shaven and pictures getting taken. Select a clever name like Fred or Jason, so by the time the feds are chasing, I already made it through customs and fled the nation.
From it right now. From it right now. From it right now.
You done? The true life definition of what embarrassment is, yeah, you going in on dirt. That's what they bury you in after you die from withdrawal during an inpatient therapy bid. Grow the fuck up, you barely a kid. Your coddling mother made you this massive waste of trash and space but tried to help you. Now you're gonna fucking listen when daddy say it. Starting tomorrow, you dead them little raps you making and shit you do for free with your imagination, video games, and masturbating. You're gonna re-enroll in every class you taken. Practice basics and calculations till you get your GED, then laminate it. Off to community college, master trades and math equations. I wanna see consistent passing grades until you've graduated. Then, it's on to everyday's resumes and applications. Not your girlfriend's Facebook application, I mean actual applications. Because if not, I'm gonna grab the elastic waist on your ragged Hanes, pull it over your head just to slap the taste of your own shit out of your faggot face till caveman saturated, then put you in crosshairs big as a helicopter landing station so the cooker can spark and put him in parts like a casting agent. Facebook is the textbook definition of manic depression. Instead of all the whining faggot confessions, I have a suggestion. Why half-ass it? Pack your intestines with every pill on your shelf because killing yourself's the only way you'll leave a lasting impression. I've damned him from heaven, mark of the beast, branded your flesh and burned through Richard's cranium like a bladder infection. So how long you been going to raves and other faggot conventions? Shut the fuck up! Answer the question. Probably think you so slick when you glow stick, dancing reflectives, patent leather fetish pants you collected, along with everything else. Hard to treat him like a man and respect him, knowing he probably got shots of vodka, Oxycontin, and Xanax ingested, copped a bag of the best dope, mixed coke, slammed an injection, and he's convinced ecstasy works better if it's crammed in his rectum. If you sold all the drugs that you consume in a matter of seconds, you could have paid for your own food, hotel, and travel expenses. Wow. My goon's ready to ride, you ain't passing inspection. We go to work with shiny tools like mechanics and dentists. I ain't talking cameras and lenses when a cannon's projecting. Lift up and aim, start letting off in rapid aggression. Black talons get a grip on your brain, but not to grab your attention. Shit just get ripped through the frame like there's a stash in your engine. You're 26, BattleRap's not a career. You're past the pretending. Florida ready to watch its best dude fall. Ills put John in a box to get shit on like a restroom stall. And that goes for any vet you call, especially if you one-dimensional and your fucking mother dressed you wrong. Your goatee look like you're about to get your Frenchman on. I want to stab you in the face until your flesh is gone. You die by the sword. Corkscrews, pliers, and cords, but I could use a blowtorch and remove the eye of the storm. Your own mother won't recognize you and deny you were born, so you don't even want to look at me like you were buying some porn. My clique is the Freemasons, the picture to be painted, depicted with deep hatred, you itching to meet Satan. My fist hits his cheek, break it, you slip into sleep fainting and hitting the streets pavement while missing your teeth shaking. Lift up the heat, scrape them. I'll leave a human torch. If you see a storm cloud, this prick has been cremated. Poor fortune and scorched corpses, airborne biochemical spores swarming from Agent Orange sources. Sores forming inside of your lungs, you're dead before morning. Future generations are born orphans with deformed organs. From politicians' insane decisions, car bombs sustain ignitions, tunnels collapse from train collisions, buildings burn where planes were driven. Lakes and rivers start to flood till it breaks the bridges. Water's changed in tinted red as it drains through ditches. Cancer and AIDS, the forthcoming of the plagues envisioned. If you don't understand where I'm headed, I'll explain the difference. I'm the apocalypse, my reign is vicious. Storms and disasters, just the beginning of what I came to finish. So you could go fuck yourself to the point of internal injuries. I'll pick Storm apart and put Johnny on the spot like thermal imagery. Scotty P said to P-Ro, she sucked my simile. What you think I met her for? A month later, you said to Sire Boy, she's a slore. What you think I met her for? He's in your division, you knew that shit was said before, so why the fuck are you using his bars instead of yours? I tried to mimic how this fag is dressed, but my appearance lacks the fucking fashion sense of a teenager that barely matched. Plus the apparent fact finding Echo Guerra's wax still in adult sizes near the back of a clearance rack could take years to track. Is this specimen Iranian or Mexican Arabian? I'm guessing by his swagger he's a resident Canadian. So I go to work for free under the table because I'm definitely alien. Change my name to Juan Drizzle. Lay down the wrong shingles. Cut your grass so fast it'll make your lawn sizzle.
I'm Di. I came to use the bathroom too because there's no handicap stalls.
So will I treat him differently? Let him leave with dignity? Maybe speak with sympathy? Are you fucking people kidding me? Give a fuck if you're a fully operational fleet of infantry or a handicapped meat nugget. Think you can't get hung from a hook in a meat facility? Dangling like a punching bag while you're beaten viciously? I'll have to call you hurtful names like freak specifically. Post a video, copy the YouTube link, tweet it minutely. This strange cat's an arrogant prick. That's a plain fact. Because when I got here, I said, what up? He wouldn't even wave back. I've been raided by the feds. Fuck if you call the cops. You better say it with your chest, because that's all you got. Do you think I give a fuck if you are small or not? I'll soccer kick you in your tiny retarded balls and cock. Fly out your chair, bounce off the ceiling, hit the wall and drop. Shit look like a gummy bear when they chalk the spot. I hope the person that gives you sponge baths and has to wipe your dumb ass forcefully tickles the back of your neck with his giant mustache. You've inspired me to take up running tracks, swim a couple hundred laps, head home and hit the punching bag, followed by some jumping jacks. Get off your lazy ass so I can punch you in your hunching back, stomp you till your lungs are flat, and club you in your nubs with bats. I'll help a snake shed his scales, both hands squeeze your throat glands, and choke slam you on a bed of nails. Let you bleed it out before the claw hammer has your head impaled, and send this limbless fruit to God like Larry from VeggieTales. And I could put arms on this pathetic faggot like a proper genetic pattern. Then two separate daggers shred and stab your flesh to fragments, pull out the rib cage and digestive tract until intestines splatter. Cut off that ridiculous appendage flap and then embroider your head and back in threaded fabric and make my red nose a leather jacket. The Special Olympics can't provide you with events or practice, but when it comes to potato sack races, you're at legend status. But you got options, so what if you're just a head and spine? Because if this rap shit doesn't work, you could always, never mind.